Let's factor this polynomial. What you first have to notice is this is a difference of cubes because these are both cubed. So what you do is you have to think of what cubed is each piece. What you notice here is what cubed gives you h cubed? Well, that's h. This is your a value. What cubed gives you 216? Well, that's 6. What cubed gives you g cubed? Well, it would be g. So 6g times 6g times 6g gives you 216g cubed. And h times h times h gives you h to the third. Then you have to know your difference of cubes formula. And the difference of cubes formula goes like this. You have 2 pieces, then you have 3 pieces. Now with a difference of cubes, it's going to be a minus, plus, plus. Okay. Now the formula for difference of cubes, again, this is A, this is B, got A and B. The formula is A minus B, A squared plus AB plus B squared. That's the formula for a difference of cubes. That's the formula. Now, as you can tell, minus plus plus, I have minus plus plus, I have my A and my B, so now we just have to basically plug in our values. So H is A, so it's going to be AB, so H is A, B is 6G, so that's our first piece. A squared, so H squared. A times B, so H times 6G, let's write that as 6GH, let's put those letters alphabetical. And then B squared would be 6G times 6G, which would be 36G squared. This can never factor. We're done. That right there is your answer. It is a difference of cubes because there's a difference between. Now, this one, these aren't cubes, but there is what you should notice, a GCF. So if I actually take a time to pull an x out, actually a 3x out. If I take a 3x out of both of these, when I take a 3 out of 24, you get 8x, and to the x out of x to the fourth, you get x cubed. So this times this gives you 24x to the fourth. When I take a 3x out of 3x, you're left with 1. Now once you do that, you hopefully will notice over here what's left, hopefully notice a sum of cubes. So we want to think of, okay, what cubed gives you 8x cubed? Well, that looks like 2x. And what cubed gives you 1? Well, that'd be 1. These are your A's and your B's. So our answer again is something blank something, something blank blank blank. Now the formula again, this is a sum of cubes and a sum of cubes. Sum of cubes is very similar to this formula, except it's just the signs change. So it's a plus b instead of minus, and then it's a squared minus ab plus b squared. So what you notice between these two is that this one simply has the minus second, goes plus minus plus, so the minus is second. Where here with the difference of cubes, the minus is first, and these are both positive. So we put a plus here, a minus here, and a plus here. Now we fill in our values. Now, oh, there's one thing I forgot. Don't forget your GCF. So there's actually a 3x out front. Don't forget your 3x. And then when I factor what's left, meaning factor the piece in here, you get a plus b, so 2x plus 1. Then you have here, you have a squared, so a squared is 2x times 2x. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Now you have a times b, so 2x times 1 looks like it would be 2x. And b squared is 1 squared, 1 squared is 1. That is your answer. Don't forget your GCF. I almost forgot it. Now, the last problem, we want to do this. Now what you need to realize, we're doing the area of a rectangle. Now hopefully you understand area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, if you had a rectangle, this is your length and this is your width. Area equals length times width. Okay, so if I want to find the area is blank, that means I'm trying to find the length and width. Because when you go length times width, you get the area. So you're basically trying to find the length and width that create this when you multiply them. So basically, what that all is saying is factor this. It's basically saying factor. Now, to factor this, you should notice these aren't cubes. This is actually going to be a difference of squares. Difference of squares. And the formula for difference of squares is when you have a squared minus b squared, your answer is a plus b, a minus b. So, in this situation, we got to find out what a and b are. What's your a? What's your b? Well, your a, what squared gives you this? Well, 9 squared gives you 81, and x squared squared gives you x to the 4th. So this is 9x squared. That would give you this. Well, 7 squared gives you 49, and y squared gives you y squared. So that's your a and your b. So your answer is simply going to be a plus b, a minus b. This one's a difference of squares. Now, check to make sure these can't factor, and they can't in this situation, but sometimes these pieces are also difference of squares, and you can keep factoring. Or they could be difference or sum of cubes. So you just kind of watch, but most of the time it won't go any farther on this particular problem. This is your length and width. When you multiply and you get your area. Back to that kind of word problem idea.